DaBaby recently opened up about losing $200 million after his homophobic rant in 2021. Now, he spoke out about how the situation humbled him and said, I really feel like it was a blessing in disguise. Wow, that is a hell of a lesson to learn. Have you ever been humbled in a way that made you change your actions? Let's go to you first, Q.
I mean, I think we all have been humbled in a way that made us change our actions. But I want to say one thing about this story. DaBaby is a goddamn lie. All right. And not saying that celebrity net worth or on Google knows people's wealth exactly. He's only worth, according to the internet, $8 million. Okay. That's $8 million that you've amassed across your entire career. It's hard for me to believe that within a year span, somebody who's only worth 8 lost out on 200 million. That's just a lot of damn money. Candy Burris ain't even worth $200 million, and she got 11 businesses. I don't like it. Like, DaBaby, you kind of got past the being canceled by the LGBTQ community thing now. Let's just leave it alone. All has been calm in that space. But to now, it feel like you running it back, because subtly, while you're presenting it as I've been humbled, you're also sending this message that, oh, these people did some major damage to me. You didn't lose out on $200 million, baby, when you only worth 8. You chose a number that was a little too aggressive for your story, Papa.
I do agree that he did get canceled at the height of his career where things were super, super popping for him, but that is a lot of money. Al, what are your thoughts on this figure? Would you agree with Funky, or what do you think?
Yeah, I think he's probably listening to somebody from the record label telling him this is what it has cost you, or maybe he's talking about total revenue, Q, not his take-home money. Now, total revenue, I'm with you. I still have a problem with DaBaby not speaking out of his mouth that he apologized for the venomous hate that he spewed. Now, he has apologized, but he apologized through a post. Apologizing through a post, and I will say this over and over and over again, for someone like this, it's just the punk way of handling your business. You owe the public still, and you owe not just the LGBTQ plus community a verbal apology. You owe everyone a verbal apology for the hate. It's the hate, son, and it's the hate that's going to continue to follow you like a dark cloud until you address it. Address it and turn the page. Now, I'm not saying that you have to regret anything, because your main focus was that you don't regret anything because it made you the person that you are. But I promise you, if you dig deep and really think about the hate that you have inside of yourself for this group and address it, your career will start to flourish again.
I was at an event in Hollywood. It was an after party for my friend Andy's movie, and he performed, right? He was walking around. Nobody was checking for him like that. And the reaction to him was nowhere near what it used to be. Like, it was definitely like, it was like a meh. It was like that. I will say this, DaBaby, I don't know if it's this little man syndrome or what it is that you have going on, because yes, your words towards the community were disgusting, and just the HIV comment he made, that was not cute. It was mean. It was evil. Especially, like, I don't understand when people are trying to get something. They're trying to sell their product. They want people to buy their music, buy into them. Why you would just immediately alienate a good percentage of them, and not just with the community, also with women. The way you went hard with Megan, like, you have a lot of people to make right with. And I think, I'm glad you've been humbled. I hope you really have learned a lesson. But, I think you have some severe therapy that I think you need to go through for whatever issues you have. But it ain't even just you. It's a lot of men like you out there that need to kind of relax. Like, you're mad at women and gay people for your life or for whatever reason. I don't know.